The industry is just is way different than the street. You gotta be careful how you move, real cautious how you deal with these industry people.
Y'all boys see how I'm coming. I'm coming aggressive. Album full of hits, full of smashing. Y'all gonna see how I'm coming. I'm coming crazy, like all aspects of rapping.
News broke out recently that Offset just sued the CEO of Quality Control Music, the record label that published all the albums he did with Quavo and Takeoff. But the reason lies in a dispute that has little to do with fellow rappers and more so with his solo career. Now the CEO of QC, who goes by the name of P, is finally clapping back at Offset for suing him. Nobody's sure as of now whether or not the trap lords from Atlanta, aka Migos, are going to stay together for much longer. However, what we can say with certainty is that Offset is through with the CEO of the record label Quality Control, Pierre P. Thomas. Their ties are being shut off after Offset recently filed a lawsuit against QC in regards to his solo career. It looks like they wanted more than Offset is willing to give. According to Offset, P has been blackballing him for the last 2 years, and it has to stop. That may have been a result of the previous lawsuit, but we'll get to that in a minute. There were a lot of rumors that the two weren't seeing eye to eye even before this Offset lawsuit. However, now the whole world can see that there has been some bad blood between the two all along. You see, Offset was quiet about his feelings towards P when it came to the music that he dropped with Migos, but now that he's rocking solo, that's a different animal. Offset's accusing QC of not going through with the deal they made in January 2021. Back then, the deal was clear. When Offset makes music as a solo artist, QC doesn't get the bag. That's the business. Let's be clear about one thing here. That deal came with a costly price. Offset paid hella cash to get back the rights from QC for his solo music. Then for a while, things were working fine, at least in the public eye. But now, QC is feeling a different type of way. They're trying to claim a part of profits from Offset's latest hit, 54321, and in a hostile way, too. Offset's not liking it a single bit. Actually, he's pretty upset. So upset, in fact, that he teamed up with a lawyer and filed a lawsuit against QC. Offset is suing QC and P for violating the deal. P had a response for Offset, and it seems like he wasn't too surprised by what happened. In a since-deleted tweet, this is what he had to say about the fact that he's being sued. The last lawsuit was filed publicly and dismissed quietly. Let's see how this one go. Been too real for all this lame shit. Everyone know the real problem. As you can already tell by the comment, this isn't the first lawsuit that QC faces. The last lawsuit that Pete mentioned here is one from 3 years ago when it wasn't just Offset who had issues with the record label, it was the whole Migos. Back in 2019, Migos filed a complaint against their attorney Damian Granderson, who worked with them for years. According to them, Damian used the trust that Migos put in him as a means to his own ends. He cheated them on millions of dollars, and to top it all off, he sided with QC instead of them. Basically, he backstabbed Migos. The lawsuit didn't say the exact amount of money that Migos insisted QC gives back to him, but we're talking like millions. Formally speaking, their attorney was sued for professional malpractice and unjust enrichment. But there were also other claims. P had something to say about that lawsuit too. For him, the whole thing was nonsense. Back in 2019, he hopped on Instagram and wrote, "It's unfortunate that the same people that we have worked hard, provided opportunities for, and championed for are now alleging that we have participated in any kind of immoral or unfair business practices or took advantage of them and their careers, especially while we're dealing with the death of an artist on our label that was dear to us." Little before that Instagram post, Lil Marlowe from Atlanta, who was signed to P's record label, lost his life. His car was shot up and he died on the spot. P posted a photo of the two of them, left a warm message for Marlowe saying, "So much potential that the world didn't get a chance to see. Love you, bro. It's really hard for me to say RIP." Suffice it to say, the lawsuit in 2019 came at a very unfortunate time. Regardless, that didn't stop P in his tracks. Back then, he also had a reply for the Migos lawsuit. That time, he posted this on his Twitter. "Know the difference between who in your corner and who in your business." It was rather obvious that this was a message for the Migos. In P's eyes, from there on, they were business partners and nothing more. Offset quickly saw the most recent post on P's Twitter. Offset told the world that he and P made a deal, fair and square. It was P who messed up on his end, and that's why the lawsuit is coming his way. He said, "They act like I'm the problem. I paid millions to get my rights back. You blackballed me and said I ain't shit at one time, homie. I ain't spoke to you in 2 years. Now I drop and you want my name on my credit?" Offset isn't alone in this fight. His wife, Cardi B, is right there with him. Even though her tweet was also deleted, The internet saved the tweet for those doing research. She commented, "Offset brought himself out of his QC deal after they didn't want to renegotiate his contract. I'm tired of people trying to make Offset look like the bad guy. Enough is enough." The whole lawsuit most likely stems from the fact that P doesn't want to let go of the sweet, juicy profits that Offset as a solo artist is making. Yes, you can debate whether or not he's ever going to have the same financial success that he had with Migos, but a bag is a bag. And if there's one to be made, then why not? P's a businessman after all. It just looks like he's not ready to ditch the contract just yet. So he not gonna let the contract? He definitely not gonna let out of the contract. Sad part is, if he's not out of his contract, QC still owns him. And that is true. Like it or not, if Offset is still on the contract that he signed with QC in the beginning of his music career, P's gonna get those profits from Offset's solo career. Why so? Well, just because Offset paid him money to get solo music right doesn't mean that he has the right to do so on paper. See, nobody ever mentioned a contract being signed saying that Offset and P terminated the contract. If it was just a verbal agreement supplemented by some moolah, Offset might as well be on the losing side of this lawsuit, if there is to be one. On paper, P still owns the music that Offset makes, even as a solo artist, unless the contract says differently. However, if there is some sort of contract written in paper that states that Offset's solo ventures do actually belong to him, then we might be seeing P digging in some papers and doing his research on attorneys. Because if so, he's probably gonna lose out a lot of money. Signing contracts with record labels is like always a tricky thing, man. Too many young artists who aren't experienced enough sign terrible deals and end up losing loads and loads of money. Just remember Meek Mill and his situation. There are countless such examples. On the other hand, there's the fact that Offset's music hasn't been pushed like that at Lil Baby. Ever since Lil Baby was signed to QC, P has been advertising his projects 24/7. And not once did he post anything about Offset, even though he too dropped fire music. P has different plans now, and Offset is not in any one of them. Moreover, P and Lil Baby made a video in response to Offset's lawsuit. In the video, they both say, "The show must go on."
Yeah. Hey, baby, you see what they say on the back? Read what they say on the back.
Show must go on. Show must go on.
Out loud in a pretty chill fashion. It's just another case of money over loyalty. He just curved Offset for Lil Baby. Music fans aren't so sure this is what the smartest move coming from P. It's not about the money. There's talent, morals, trust, and loyalty. Perhaps P made a mistake. Lil Baby ain't putting out no pressure, so if I was Offset, I'll be in the studio going hard to show QC it ain't shit but a little straightening. Offset wants to do his own thing, and he don't have to be tied to QC or Migos. Seems like they feel a type of way because Offset got his own shine without him anyway. So do your thing, Offset. Only time will tell whether or not it was a smart move from P. From a standpoint of a loyal and staying true to the code, there's no love between P and Offset. Not anymore, at least. Arguments can be made that this wasn't such a smart move, even from a financial perspective. Yes, Lil Baby definitely is a hotter artist right now, and he's bringing in the cash right now, but it's not all about the present moment. Offset could shade P if he drops a fire album dissing him for being disloyal. But what y'all think about P's response to this Offset lawsuit coming his way? Do you think he played it smart, or do you think there's another way for all this to turn out? Is Offset's career gonna stay strong even if he goes independent? Let us know what you think all about it down in the comments section below. If you liked our video, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel and check out the rest of our videos here. As always, keep it RIZZLE.